Hello, hello.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, man.
How are you? No problem. All right.
To welcome His Excellency and the National Anthem. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm not hearing you. Good afternoon, everyone. Excellent. So, let me first of all welcome His Excellency, the Honorable Dr. Mohammed Irfaan Ali, President of the Republic of Guyana, members of the head table, which includes none less than cabinet ministers and members of parliament, starting with Minister Juan Edgel, Minister Zulfikar Mustafa, Minister Indar Deodat, Regional Chairman Regional Chairman Armagan. Additionally, I'd also like to welcome the Vice Chairman, Samal Hussein, invited guests, members of the media. Good afternoon and welcome to the commissioning of the number 58 Village Farm to Market Road. At this point in time, I would like to call on for the opening remarks and welcome by the Regional Chairman, Region 6, Mr. David Armagan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excellency, the President of the Republic of Guyana, Dr. Mohammed Irfaan Ali, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Zulfikar Mustafa, Minister of Public Works, Mr. Juan Edgel, Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Mr. Deodat Indar, Prominent Secretary, REO, Regional Vice Chairman, other dignitaries, distinguished brothers and sisters. First of all, allow me to extend to all of you a warm welcome to this important commissioning ceremony. But more so, I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the people of this region, and more particularly the people of 5274, to welcome the young, vibrant, and visionary leader of ours, Dr. Mohammed Irfaan Ali. Since our president came to office, having presented his manifesto on which the people voted, he has been working night and day to ensure that the promises made in the manifesto are being met and the people are much better off. This road that we are here today to commission is yet another indication that our government is very serious about agricultural development and young people getting into agriculture. Because in many of our outreaches, there has been complaints that lands are not available for young people to cultivate. So our president and our government, having recognized that, has decided that we have to open up new roads, new infrastructure, to ensure that young people are given the opportunity to get involved in agriculture and agricultural output and agricultural production. So today, once again, I want to welcome all of you, and you will be treated, of course, with the presentation by His Excellency at some point this evening. So thank you very much for coming out. I was worried about half an hour ago that half of the chairs at the back were still not filled, but I'm very happy now that we are filled to capacity and some people are still standing. So welcome to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Regional Chairman, for those welcoming remarks. At this point, I would like to call on the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Zulfikar Mustafa, to give a few remarks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. His Excellency, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Dr. Mohammed Irfaan Ali, colleagues from the Cabinet, member of the RDC, the Regional Democratic Council, other government's official, member of the press, and more importantly, beneficiaries. We are here this afternoon once again to commission a road. Simple a road, but this road will change the lives of farmers and stakeholders and the Upper Quarantine. And as we are now embarking to be the food capital of the region in terms of food production and agricultural development, then let us all in Region 6, and I want to join with you as residents in Region 6, to commend His Excellency for his vision, his foresight in making this development project a reality for us here this afternoon. And I want to tell you that Guyana today is leading the agriculture agenda in CARICOM. Today, Guyana is being recognized as one of the most, as a country that is promoting food security and promoting the agri-food agenda. And not only by Guyanese agencies, but international organizations. Organizations like the World Food Programme, the Food and Agricultural Organization, ICA, have all recognized the role, the important role Guyana is playing to promote food security today. And as a country today, and as a government, we recognize the importance of the agriculture sector. That is why we will continue to make budgetary allocation available to modernize our infrastructure. Because if we want more production, if we want better yield, and we want to be once again the breadbasket of the Caribbean, then the government of Guyana will continue to modernize and develop our infrastructure around the country. I am happy to say also with the dynamic leadership of His Excellency the President, we are seeing the entire Caribbean is looking forward to Guyana today for that leadership to lead the agriculture agenda. Today, Guyana is blessed in chairing the ministerial task force in the Caribbean. We are leading that process. And I can remember 2 years ago when I became Minister of Agriculture, Guyana had ceded its position in CARICOM, which was taken up by St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I want to recognize the sterling contribution and the visionary leadership of our President in rescuing back that position. And today, Guyana is the leading light in CARICOM in leading the food agenda and the agriculture agenda. So ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the residents of Region 6, I want to commend His Excellency. I want to commend the PPP civic government in modernizing our agriculture sector, in opening up new lands. Thousands of acres of land will be available, and this will be to the benefit of the residents of Region 6. Once again, let us put our hands together to the government of Guyana and His Excellency the President of our country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for those remarks. At this point in time, I would like to call on the Honorable Minister of Public Works, Bishop Juan Edgel, to give his remarks. Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Sessional Chairperson and Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Public Works, Mr. Vladimir Prasad, Your Excellency, Dr. Mohammed Irfaan Ali, President of Guyana, my cabinet colleague, Minister of Agriculture, Zulfikar Mustafa, my cabinet colleague and my colleague that work with me at the Ministry of Public Works, the Honorable Deodat Indar, Regional Chairman, Vice Chairman, Regional Member of Parliament, Mr. Vishwa Mahadio, REO, councillors, ladies and gentlemen of this community, all that are gathered here, a very good afternoon. I'm going to try that again, a very good afternoon. Thank you very much. It is with joy that I join you here this afternoon for what could best be described as fulfilling a promise and opening of a project that was conceived by the PPPC administration and our president in particular as the leader, and a project that has been engaging the residents of this community. You will recall that when the 2021 budget was read, $1 billion was allocated in the 2021 budget for this road. With my colleague, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, and the Regional Chairman, we came here and we held consultations. There were different views of which dam to use. Then we had to come back again and hold another set of consultations because it would seem that there were still differences of views. I'm happy this afternoon we're no longer talking. I'm happy that we are opening up the road and we're all gathered here together for this purpose. This road, number 58, currently as it stands, completed to the stage of asphaltic concrete, spans a distance of 6.4 kilometers. Our total expenditure to date is $1,018 million. And I want to take a moment to explain, Excellency, and those gathered. This road, you could best be described as a novelty road. This road has an engineering technology that has never been used before in Guyana. It has 3 levels of fabric. Geofabric, folded and unfolded, or I should say woven and unwoven, and then geocells with 8 inches of crusher run, and then the asphaltic concrete. As a matter of fact, I think this is a good time for me to acknowledge the hard work, diligence, and cooperation of the contractor that was awarded this project, Mr. Riaz Khan of Guy America Construction. Where's Mr. Khan? Come forward so the people could see you. It's not that they don't know you, because every fight you ever had is with him, and all the praises and the cooperation was with him. And I think under the circumstances, with the sensitivity of ensuring that while the road is under construction, you're still having access to your lands, you're able to cut your rice, bring it out. He had to wait, pull off his machines, then start back working after crop. I want to applaud the cooperation of contractor and residents and farmers. Would you give Mr. Riaz Khan a good round of applause, and yourself for that level of cooperation? Mr. President, at the end of this stretch of road, there will be 2 reinforced concrete bridges that will have to cross the Seafort and the Fowler canals. All of the components and the materials for the construction of these bridges are already in place. We were just waiting for this road to be completed so that the machines could now go in for the installation of those bridges. That contract has been awarded to Keres Engineering at a cost of $169,701,650. Once we are able to get across the Seafort and the Fowler Canal, with the support of His Excellency and leadership from him, monies can be made available for the next phase of this road, which is the intent to move this road all the way down to the Kanji Creek, and at a later time cross the Kanji Creek, because the intent is to open up new lands for farming, so that some of the younger people, like Minister Mustafa said, will be able to get their own lands to go into agriculture and to develop this area. This is what we have been doing. You recall that during the budget debate of 2022, I made the remark, you can't eat roads, but roads make you eat. This is an example of that statement. Because of this road, we'll be able to produce more. Your investment will become more economically viable. Your trucks and rest of it will not be stuck for days. You have better access to the market, and you have better access to your farmlands. I want to ask of you this afternoon 2 things. One, we have to find a way of how we could get the mud off of the tractors and other equipment before they come out to the road. All of us who live in the Berbice area would have seen it when we do that on the main road. The acid and the other things in the soil have a way of damaging the asphalt. And then we have to come back and use millions and tens of millions to rehab. That is the situation right now on this quarantine highway, the mud on the road. So I want to appeal to all the tractors and the farmers. I know His Excellency probably will speak to that with the Minister of Agriculture. But we have to find a mechanism of how we can deal with that. Yes, we are farming in mud and we have to take our equipment home, but there must be something that we can do to wash, power wash at some station somewhere so that we can be able to save the road and ensure it lasts a very, very long time. I'm in agreement with that. It's a big issue. The last thing that I would want to say this afternoon is that myself and my colleague, Minister Deodat Indar, the Ministry of Public Works, having been mandated to do specific work in terms of improving infrastructure throughout the country, here in Region 6, you would have been seeing us, and we've been working with you. We want to engage residents to ensure they cooperate with contractors, and we want to continue to engage the contractors to ensure that they deliver the best. We want value for money. As a government, President Ali has made it very clear to us, and we are working with that vision and direction. We must improve the lives and livelihoods of our people. And through the improvement of our infrastructure, we intend to do that. I thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister Juan Edgel, for those remarks. And as you would have alluded to, this road is not a government road, this is your road. And as such, for you to take care of it and to ensure its stability and continuity as we progress. At this point in time, please stand in joining me and welcome His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfaan Ali to give the feature address this afternoon.
Please, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Respected elders, colleagues from the cabinet, regional officials, technicians from the government, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm very pleased to be associated with this very significant event in Region 6 today. We started very early this morning and we have stopped at various communities on our way to this event. Most of the communities we stopped at are communities that are heavily dependent and integrated into agriculture. Agriculture in a large scale, in a medium scale, and in some instances, through community involvement. Food production and agriculture is a major branch of the development transformation of our country. In order for us to deliver sustainable, long-lasting, holistic development for our people, we have to build an economy that stands on many different platforms. And food production and agriculture is one of the main pillars that the future economy of our country will be built on. However, it is very clear to all of us by now that the traditional way in which we did agriculture, the traditional methods that we use, are somewhat outdated. And for us to increase our productivity and for us to increase our yield and reduce our costs of production, there are a number of things that must occur. One, the state of the infrastructure to support agriculture and food production must be transformed to support a more effective transportation and production system. Secondly, there must be investment in research and development so that we can have better yields, better crops, better variety. Thirdly, we must utilize the best possible technology that will deliver to us in a sustainable and resilient way. We know that we are faced with many challenges, including climate change. So our method of agriculture must be resilient so as to mitigate against the consequences of climate change. Another important aspect is our human resources. How do we ensure, and our human resources are not only persons who will graduate from universities and technical institutes. Our human resource include the farmers. How are we going to develop a strategy through which we can educate our farmers as to the best practices, as to the best options available in increasing production or shifting production into areas that are sustainable and high yielding? These are important questions that the government is answering, and the government has contemplated in its development strategy for the agricultural sector. So over the last 2 years, you would have seen tremendous investment in agriculture in every single region. The Minister of Agriculture will tell you that in this region alone, in DNI, we have done hundreds of millions of dollars in work to support the drainage and irrigation system in the region. Whilst we have done this, we have reversed the DNI charges that the last government would have placed on your backs. We have reversed those charges. But all of this development that you're seeing, all of this transformation that is taking place in the region, is coming to you at very, very difficult time for us here in Guyana and globally. I was saying to Minister Zulfikar that perhaps the ease at which we are finding solution does not allow people to understand the complexity of the problems we are faced with. You see, this government has been so responsive that sometimes it is easy for us to forget the last 2 years, the complexity of the environment in which your government was operating in. Less than 2 years ago, we were not sitting here. We were all worrying about whether our democracy, the rule of law, our rights, or our votes would be taken away from us. Quickly we are forgetting this. And the very persons who try to steal, they're robbers, who try to steal your democracy, your freedom, who disrupted the rule of law and placed Guyana at peril, are now parading as persons who are honest and truthful with dignity and honor. They're nothing but a bunch of robbers who have never apologized, who did not even have the decency to apologize to the people of the country for what they did. But because they believe that the Guyanese people are so fickle, that you will easily forget, and now they can emerge from their darkness, from their hole of evil. They can emerge and behave as if they're the custodian of truth. And they can lecture us on dignity and honor when they don't have the decency even to begin with an apology to the people of this country. But you see, I don't really waste too much time. I am concentrating, and this government is concentrating on the task ahead. And every single Guyanese is part of the task ahead. Every single community is part of the task ahead. Every single region is part of the task ahead. Today at one community, one of good Guyanese gentlemen said to me, "Don't be afraid, you know. You don't need security here. You can land anytime." I said to him, "This is one man can touch down anywhere, anytime, and anyhow." Because ultimately what we are doing is bringing development to people. Our focus is on uplifting the lives of people, bringing prosperity to every single home. They're the doomsayers who will continue every single day on the front page of a newspaper without any factual basis to derail what we're doing. But guess what? In 2 years, when you'll be spending less than 50% of what you're spending now on your electricity, then you will understand the road we are heading on to bring development and prosperity to you. Because when every household can save $10,000 per month on electricity, and you multiply that by the total household here in Region 6, that is the money that will be available to you in this region to spend and create economic opportunity for the people in this region. Outside of the 5 months, we came into government at a time when COVID was at its worst. And what did we meet? We met a COVID hospital that did not even have an oxygen line. A COVID hospital that did not even have a single bed. Your government outfitted that hospital in record time, brought it to help the people, and at the same time delivered a COVID grant to every single household across this country. But that can be easily forgotten. We are on a beautiful road now and we can talk about some sheep crossing the road and that's the problem. But these things can be easily forgotten. That is what we did. Today our model that we use for COVID, is one that is being studied by many institutions across the world. We never had a total lockdown in this country. We created a balance in dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. And that is what governments are about. Making strong decisions, standing by those decisions, and working continuously in the interests of the people. And if the COVID-19 was not enough, we had 4 floods to deal with, all of a national scale. In every single flood, we responded to the people. We responded effectively, efficiently, and we delivered help to the people. Those are the circumstances through which we have been navigating. As if that was not enough, we are operating in a situation now where the cost of living across the world is skyrocketing, where shelves in many supermarkets across the world are empty, where the cost of moving a container from China to Guyana increased by more than 2,000%. Moving a container from Miami to Guyana increased by more than 1,000%. That is the environment in which this government operated and navigated the ship safely, successfully, and was still able to deliver on all its promise in the manifesto. Reversing taxes, removing the VAT on electricity and water, bringing back the school children grant, the uniform grant, the transportation grant, increasing old age pension, investing in healthcare, investing in education, bringing back young people on top again, once again in the Caribbean. That is what we did. Not gapping. Hard work every single day on the ground, doing it for you, doing it for the people. So when the opposition leader gets up with this nonsense from his sleepy group, it annoys me. Because this gentleman has no integrity to speak to the people of this country. But I still love him. Because he is still part of one Guyana. The ball is now in his court. Every single Guyanese is loved by this government. But when you have a group of people who can appreciate what development is and how transformation takes place, then it worries me. It worries me. The hundreds of private sector citizens who contributed to Cricket Carnival, that brought so many persons to Guyana and ignited spending There are hundreds of young artists who for the first time got on a stage here. They're not celebrated. They're ignored by an opposition who can't see anything good. An opposition that is neck deep in lack of transparency and accountability. But today, you know, one good thing about the People's Progressive Party civic government is that democracy is returned every time we're in government. You don't believe me? Check those who can speak now and ask where were their mouth in the 5 years. Check them out. Where were their mouth in the 5 years? You know, there's a season and time for everything. And I will deal with that in the right season, at the right time. In building one Guyana, we must build a country that stands up on values, that stands up based on the rule of law, that stands up based on democracy. Building a one Guyana does not mean anyone has the right. Anyone has the right to trample on another person. And if you try to take away the democratic right of someone, if you try to take away the vote from someone, if you try to take away the rule of law, and if you try to rig an election, you're not only trampling upon the people of the country, you're trampling upon the Constitution and the country itself. Back to the situation at hand. The minister spoke to you about this project. But I want to first of all applaud the residents, not only of this community, of Region 6, for placing your faith and confidence in a government that you knew would have delivered infrastructure like this for you. You deserve the first round of applause. Secondly, I want to thank the engineers from the Ministry of Public Works, the Clerk of Works, the staff, the supporting staff, the contractor, the staff from the Ministry of Agriculture, the regional staff, and all those who participated, the ministers, in ensuring that this project came to a successful completion. They deserve a huge round of applause from you. And let me say this. I put a lot of pressure on the engineers and the project department in this country. But the engineers and project department are operating a record-breaking portfolio in this country at a time when we have the worst material management crisis globally. Sometimes this go unnoticed. What we are doing here is defying the odds in many instances. Many countries don't have access to building material. Anybody ever asked the question how we have managed it? It is not only you see this road building and under construction. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scene to ensure that we have materials management, that a supply chain crisis is managed to deliver our infrastructure program. There are all these technical people in the government and the ministers. Those of you who know me know that you can get me at 3 a.m. in the morning, at 2 a.m. in the morning. You don't think I would like to sleep? Or I find joy in calling my ministers at 3:30 in the morning to tell them something not so happy? or to call up an engineer at 4 a.m., but it's because of our commitment to the people of this country. It is our commitment to delivering what we said we would deliver. This project is not just about a road. This project is part of our large infrastructure transformational project. This now opens up the way for us to move on now to a crush-run surface road for the further 16 kilometers that will take us to Kanji Creek. When that is completed with the other road, we're talking about the opening up in this area alone of more than 50,000 acres of land. New land for new production. Today I have to do a lot of speaking in Region 6. And tonight, I'm going to talk a lot about what we're going to do in the region holistically. But for us to understand what is taking place in this region, I have to touch on a few issues. We're going to create a new hub of development in Region 6. I don't know if it's in today's newspaper, but it should already be out. We have just advertised because we're getting a number of interests for refinery. And for national security reasons, we have agreed that we will go after a 30,000 barrel refinery to be built right here in Region 6. That advertisement, if not in the newspaper, will be in the newspaper by this weekend. And we're giving 2 months for the submission of full proposal. Design, build, finance, own and operate. In the construction phase alone, that will create thousands of jobs. It will give us a new impetus. It will support the building of a transport and logistics sector, a new supply chain here in this region. I will speak more about that tonight. In this public road, we have 99 structures at a cost of more than $5 billion that we have already awarded. These are bridges that will be expanded to 4-lane bridge of international standard so that we can have the first phase of expanding the highway to 4-way started and completed. In this region, as I speak to you, we have more than 500 roads at different phases of implementation. Some under construction, some at design stage, some at tender stage. Over 500 roads as I speak to you. This is real work. Getting all of that done in an environment that we came into government with, that I explained to you earlier, is no simple task. It's no easy task. It required commitment. Whilst we're doing all of this, we're setting the stage and building the seed to have major private sector investment and development. As you come across the Berbice Bridge, you can already see we have the new call center that is being built. A new facility for differently abled people. That call center will create hundreds of new jobs. Very soon we'll start training the people to work in that call center. Well, we're building 2 of those in Region 6. That's thousands of jobs. Single women, persons who are considered quote-unquote housewives, will now be trained to add to family income, to add to household income. Whether it's 60,000 or 70,000, that is $70,000 that was never there before. Creating household wealth, community wealth. Whilst we are doing that, in Port Moran, more than $100 million will be invested in a national skills training center that will train our young people for all the new areas that the economy requires. This is what we are doing. This is a transformation. All of this is igniting new investment in the region. At Palmyra, we're going to build a new stadium, world-class ICC standard stadium, that is already going to be supported by a new hotel, a new mall, and a new hardware complex, all of which private sector proposals have already come in for. This is the investment. We have moved the production of swamp shrimp from 10,000 kg to 80,000 kg per month. How much? Creating over 300 new jobs. That is what we've been doing, delivering results on the ground. It's not only those who are involved in the swamp shrimp. How much for a bucket now? 20,000? Or 35 and 40,000. Now you multiply that by how many buckets we are now producing. And that is the new money that was not there 2 years ago, that is available to be spent in the economy here in Region 6. That is what we are doing, delivering results. We are now working on creating 300 acres of land into aquaculture. The first 50 acres of land will be dedicated to prawn production. By the first quarter next year, that will be ready for our first, with the young people, that will be ready for our first phase of production. That is what we are doing. Delivering every single day. Young people involved. The expansion of the Shade House program. You know, when we spoke about marine cage, you have a lot of scientists just pop up. They find a million reasons why it can't work. When we can deliver the first 30,000 pounds of fish in the two communities, I want to take them. At the end of the day, it's the result that matters. Results. And that is what this government is about. Creating the results. In investing in agriculture, we understand that our livestock industry, and let me pause on livestock because I know that they have a little quarrel here with the rice farmers and the livestock people, the cattle people. We give $16 million to build, to give them, to do a wire fence to stop the cattle from going into the rice. And now we hear that they're cutting the wire and the cattle still going in. And I'm told that the government must stop it. My dear friends, there is only so much the government can do. You know, if you bring out a tractor with a cage filled with mud and you make mud all over this road, think about your children. Think about if your old mother has to walk the road on the mud. Think about if your children has a bicycle, they got to ride in the mud. So what we will do, I already told the Minister of Agriculture. At all these communities, we'll build a launch pad, a concrete pad, where the tractors can go and wash off before they come on the roads. We have to mature as a people. We have to understand that we live in an integrated society. And our action affects the other person. That is part of One Guyana. Feeling each other pain. Understanding how our misbehavior affects someone else negatively. Understanding how our lack of responsibility affects the other person. You see, we have to have these frank and honest conversations if we are to advance our country and our society. Unless we are willing to have these honest and frank conversations, then we'll not be doing the future generation justice. So we're looking at livestock. Last night, I think we loaded the 60 head of Brahmin bull, special breed coming in to improve the quality of our livestock. We have an embryo program that we're doing with Brazil. We are working on agro-processing for this region. We are looking at new areas and existing areas that can be converted into hemp production. We are looking at technology, the application of technology, research and development, and a continued support for drainage and irrigation in this region. So my dear friends, I've already gone on too long. I was only here to be part of this wonderful ceremony in which we celebrate not an accomplishment of the government, but an accomplishment of you, the people. Because it is you, the people, who place your trust and confidence in the government to do justice for you. So today, I join you in celebrating an accomplishment that all of us are part of. Those who support the government and those who don't support the government. Because all of us together will benefit from this infrastructure. All of us together will be uplifted from this infrastructure. I want to also say to you that we have completed the design for the 4 new outfalls, like the Hope Canal, that will be built here at different locations in Region 6, that will take the water directly out from the backland into the Atlantic. We are not sleeping. Leroy, we are not sleeping. This guy is sleep away just now in that chair. We are not sleeping. We are wide awake. And we are walking into the future with a strategy, with a focus. The focus is on improving our productive capacity, on making the right investment that will broaden our economic base, that will improve and expand prosperity, that will create new jobs, that will create a new wave of capital investment that will support the expansion of the economy and the growth and development of our people. That is what we are on. So my dear friends, here across Guyana, in the opposition, in Parliament, out of Parliament, we are together building a Guyana that is stronger and better. A Guyana that is delivering for all the people. Stop your nonsensical narrative that only one set of people are benefiting. You make no sense anymore. I challenge you already to look at the public service, to look at every single government institution, and to look at the expenditure of this government. And guess what? Your narrative will not derail us, because we will continue to work with all of Guyana, all the communities. We'll work with them. And I intend to go to every single community and deliver the truth. Deliver the truth. Deliver the platform on which this country is developing. So that they don't have to listen to the false prophets that continue to spread hate and division. But that they will see us for who we are. They will see Guyana for what Guyana is. And they will see their community for what the community is. Because the rising tide will lift every single community, every single Guyanese, all of us up together. Together we will. Together we must. Together in a very focused manner. Guyana will be all of us. Guyana will be for all of us. And Guyana will be lifted by all of us, for all of us. I thank you and God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this point I would like to call on His Excellency and Ministers of Government, Regional Chairman, and colleagues, friends all, to join us in the cutting of the ribbon to officially, and some of the kids please, to officially open this road.
I want a picture with the president. You go get a pension for 60. I'm going to stand up. You okay? Can I have
Dr. Warren.
I never show.
My grandson wants okay? You want to draw a photo? Come.
Wait, Jack.
You get it? Oh, sorry.
White lady, you're not going to drop it up, President? Of course I will. Oh my God, you got a picture with our president.
Yes.
And she's different more than us.
What's not even food? Thank you.
This is our president. I continue to remind you, my brother. Let me take a picture.
Give him Come. Thank you, brother. All right.
This is our next president.
Hey. Yes.
What's there?
Hold on 1 second.
Thank you very much. Home choice. Idris.
There's a ring coming down.
Let me go to the Mr. President.
What number?
Assalamu alaikum.
I got a wholesale turn from the church.
Come now.
Wait there. Send me. Go in. Kevin, here.
Some children. Children, any more children?
Any more there?
MC.
Minister Mustafa. Chairman.
What's the ribbon here?
Just hold the ribbon, children. Hold the ribbon.
Put your hands on the ribbon. Good.
1, 2, 3, cut.
Great job, guys.
Great job.
Let's go to the rain now.
Great job.
I want y'all to get excused not to go to this. Well, we go on this and you take all the food. Back to the shade, Back to the shade.
Let's come this side.
Very good street song.
Right.
It was finished this one. They take this one. Yes, my president. Yeah, Yes, look. Yes, I know.
Thank you. Very good.
Going close.
Yeah, brother.
Go quick.
Come.
Come up now. Randy, come up. Yeah, we'll come up with picture now. Randy, come up. Randy, ready? No. Randy, get ready without me there. Randy, just touch me, baby. Touch me, please. Me alone.
Yes, guys, you'll collect the phone. You don't stand out there.
Randy, ready?
Take the risk.
My phone is there.
Come quick.
You get it, Randy?
Yeah.
That's my dad. Randy, take a contract. After this, go, quick, go. You find it? How are you going? Stairs. Yeah, nice. You come on.
Shut up.
Just now. Okay. Abitare fa di presidente Bolivia. Brother, I don't know what I think about the president. I'm ready, I'm alone. Okay. Thank you. God bless you.
Look, find anything? Mano, y'all informants are steady. But I am in the line. Is me president too? President, let me come now. Yes, let me go with my friend.
I'm going now.
Get it? Get it? All right.
Yeah, go on, that's Yes, Randy. Yes, Randy. Yes, Randy.
Oh my God.
Everybody wants to see our president. Yes, no. After you go to take a picture. I will kill a president now. I will kill a president now. They try me on export from camera. What me try? They try me on export from camera.
I know how we're going to line and to meet this president.
Well, yes, bless the president. Let's get the good president. That's right. Everybody. Yes, come that's not going to click and after that you go walking it. Eat your go to? Alright, yes, you want yellow. Get them to the camera, take a camera repeat after this. One more picture here, President. Yeah. Good. Yeah, right there, right? Yes, I call the print, you know.
Watch it up. Sorry.
Everybody.
Hey, yo, hold on. We born?
All together?
Yo, me alone.
Stop on one side, me stop on one side. There ain't nothing.
And last one.
Come, man, come. Where we go, guys? Look at this. Wait. One on one side. First of one with two of him. One with two of him, please. Thank you very much.
Hold on. I'm going here. Hold on.
Good night, sir.
Yeah, we didn't get
Excuse me, sir. We'll bring everything up.
Thank you. Now we get
All right, thank you. So how much time? You get it? That might do something. Hey, Sophie. Sophie.
Going up. Yes, we got that. Yeah, we got Talon.
What's that now?
Where the pilot?
Then am I? Not going to be good about it.
Gali! Good man!
No, bring it back, innit?
Come on, yes, come quick. So when is the RFP going? Yeah. That's confirmed.
Thank you.
That's the same thing? See? Are they perfect? What's it?
Send transmission.
This?
Yeah, this is it.